12 public school. With all those residential schools, like I was telling you, now I'm proud to say for the past 30 years, our language and our culture has been taught in our school system.
It's 6 night, I mean 7 night.
Yeah, so we're going to stand about right stop there, yeah.
Go ahead, that point.
Yeah. So the next story I'm going to share with you, I'm going to tell it to you. We got a little too disrupted by the bear that came to join our tour. That's the first on the city tour. But it's the shaman pole. He was our medicine man, our foreteller. When we were fleeing from Glacier Bay, this original pole stayed in Glacier Bay. The shaman said, leave the goods. That's the name of the pole. Leave the goods. He will stay with Costine. When the time comes, he will come and find his people. So there was, the story I'm going to share with you takes place during the time we were warring over territories. This invading tribe, they had come, and when they first came, there was only women and children, and one man left in the village. Cheat, he was the Wishkitan warrior. He climbed that bluff. There was a preset warning system, in case a tribe came while all the men were out. So Cheat was this warrior's name. He climbed that cliff, and there are 4 peaks, so there are 4 fires. So when that warring tribe came, they heard of Cheat. They said they wanted to watch him climb the cliffs. His gear was the deer antler, the rope woven out of the tree bark, and seal oil. So they thought they were going to get him as he was climbing the cliffs. So he climbed the cliffs, he set those 4 fires, and that told all the other men that they needed to come in. Now this warring tribe, this other tribe, these invaders that came, they had brought their shaman with them. They wanted to see who was the most powerful shaman. So they had a spiritual battle for a day. And that other tribe shaman, he thought, maybe this is not a good idea. I don't think we should be doing this. But the warriors he had brought with them, told him, no, you can do anything that shaman can do. You're just as powerful as him. We're here to back you up. So after 2 days of spiritual battle, to see who was the most powerful. This is the Gunts pole here in this creek. The Gunts pole. The white face is for the shaman, and then you're going to see the bear. And then in the apron, the white mink was the spiritual helper. So after another day of spiritual battle, night came and everyone was resting, and they heard these loud screams echoing through the mountains. The Hoonah people, they recognized this scream of the Gunts. They recognized that scream. So in the next morning, that pole had set himself in that cliff, or in that creek. It set himself in there. So this other warring tribe was like, their Gunts is back. The shaman, he has all of his power back. Maybe we should go. We shouldn't do this. I don't think I'm as powerful as him. He has all of his power back. The Gunts came back to the people. And again, his warriors, no, we got this. You're just as powerful as him. So they were thinking, what can we do? So in the middle of the night, they chopped the Gunts down. They chopped the Gunts down, and it all went out into this bay. And they said, hey, it might not be that powerful. I was able to chop it down. But in the middle of the night, they heard the screams again. The Gunts had put himself back together and set himself in that creek again. The white mink helped the shaman go into that spiritual world and go ahead in time and saw the battle that was coming to us from these invading tribes. So strategy, and we massacred that warring tribe that tried to come and take us over. We found that there was a boat with invaders still on it out in icy straits. And we let them live. We allowed them to live so they can go and tell the story. Now, my elders wanted this brought back. One, to bring back the shaman. You know, he was our healer, our foreteller. He was the healer of the people. He was the healer of the people. You know, so the prayer I bring to the Goots is, you know, some of us are just lost in that generational trauma. You know, I pray with the Goots to bring peace to our people.
And how do you connect to Eskimos?
That is a different tribe in Alaska, of the interior. Eskimo is actually a French word for a raw meat eater. So, because of the whale, which is true, they did eat the whale. But the Onana or the Athabascan people, as the other names besides the Eskimo, they're a tribe of the interior. Now, down the Navajo people, some of them refer to themselves as Dene. The Dene is a tribe of southeast of Alaska. Dene is a tribe. Yeah, Dene. Yeah. So during World War II, there were 5 Tlingit code talkers because we had a radio communications tower here. So there are 5 within southeast of Alaska. Our languages have similarities, but they were still different. And the Hoonah people of the Aleutian chain, during World War II, the military wanted their land for their war. So they took them off of their land and put them in intern prison camps throughout southeast of Alaska. Now, they did not know if they were going to live through these camps. So they gave their most priceless possession, that Atu, their songs and their stories, to the Wishkitan people of Hoonah. So if they didn't live through these camps, they would live on through the memory of them giving recognition when they sang or shared their songs. No. That's the tribe in the interior. It's more colder, longer.
They said something about the town being burned down during World War II?
Yes, on June 14th, 1944, there was a huge fire when those big ships were coming through icy straits. They lost a bunch of 50-gallon drums of fuel. There was only a wooden boardwalk that went from that cement wall in Hoonah to that Presbyterian church. The houses were clustered very close together. So when this woman was smoking her fish, her canvas broke free, her house caught fire. It was like one big explosion. There was only one casualty. The caretaker for the Atu. Each clan has a caretaker of the regalia, the songs, and of the Atu, the most priceless possessions. My grandfather, J.C. Johnson, he was the caretaker for the Duckdanton regalia. He couldn't get all of his items out of that clan house, so he chose to perish with the fire. He was the only casualty. My mother was in Excursion Inlet. She saw the black smoke. She heard the explosions. You know, just one casualty to that fire. Because of that communications tower, they rerouted some houses that were supposed to go to Guam and brought them to Hoonah. So in that downtown area, we call them warehouses because they came from the government. Because they came from the government, you're not allowed to sell them, but you can pass them down through your buildings. Just like today, you're in the only native-owned private port in North America.
Oh, wow.
It's owned by Hoonah Totem. The only shareholders for that are the native people of Hoonah.
How many different types are there?
For Southeast Alaska, it's mainly the Tlingit, Haida, Tsimshian, and those are the 3 main tribes for Southeast of Alaska. All right, this is
right over there.
all right. So there's the tribal dance show.